that matter to you. Don't miss out on the heat. Fire Talk every Tuesday at 9:30 a.m. on Zaliza Radio 96.1 FM.
And welcome back to the show, and welcome to Fire Talk for today, Tuesday, the 12th of September 2023. I'm yours truly, Sinclair, also known as the man behind the cue. And in the studio with me, I have Timothy Martin. We're going to be joined by Romel shortly, correctly?
Unfortunately, he would not be here.
Oh, for today. Yeah. Okay. All right. His presence will be duly missed.
Yes, indeed.
And you can get your water now. Yes, no problem. Do forgive the interruption there. It's for a good cause. Yes, blessed love, big man. He'll be duly missed. Yes.
Indeed, he would be.
Yes. So good morning, Romel, if you're listening. All right, so this morning we're going to be looking at what to expect when reporting an emergency to the fire and rescue services. St. Anthony's Fire and Rescue Services here. My first question to you, Timothy, is what information should individuals be prepared to provide when reporting an emergency? Let me repeat that again. What information should individuals be prepared to provide when reporting an emergency?
Well, GQ, good morning, first of all. Good morning. Good morning to the listening audience and viewers. Now, that's a very good question that you asked, GQ. Now, in relation to persons making emergency calls, some of the things that I expected for them to provide would be their name, of course. The name, their address. I'll list them out and then we could touch them individually. The name, the address, telephone number, the nature of the emergency and the address of the emergency. Now, some of them may seem a bit off in terms of the questions that are the listing, but your name is important for us to know who to call, just for documentation purposes, etc. Your address as well, the same. Now, the reason why we're asking for a telephone number, let's say for whatever reason the call may got disconnected and we need to get back that individual in order to ascertain further information, that would be helpful for us. In relation to the address of the emergency, now we need specific locations. Sometimes callers call and they just give a broad location. For example, they might say St. Peter's, but where in St. Peter's is the emergency? We need specific locations. And if that caller gets disconnected and we don't have that, we need to get back. So you see, they're connected. Now your address might not be the address of where the incident is taking place. So that is why we are saying the address of where the fire or whatever the incident is, and also the nature of the emergency as well. We try not to be too vague in your responses, but be specific. So if let's say someone is choking, be specific with that information. So at least the relevant help, the necessary tools and equipment that goes along with the nature of the call, could be, we could prep ourselves in what we have to come to.
The purpose of the name now, it might be an individual who is not directly affected. Why should they give their name?
Well, for purposes of login information, it is always good to know who made the call. You may have to, for investigation purposes, may have to kind of go back and see where the dots are connected. So it is important, not that the person would be in any trouble whatsoever, but just in case, for investigation purposes, we need some additional information. We know who to contact to get that information.
Well, what are some the common challenges or misconceptions people have when reporting emergencies?
Well, the response time is one aspect. Normally, when someone is being affected by an emergency, they expect that help would be imminent, that by a snap of a finger, the emergency responses would be there. So that is one of the a common misconception that persons have, that, hey, I called you, and the caller oftentimes don't even realize that it's just maybe a matter of minutes have passed, 2-3 minutes. But because they are in dire need of that assistance, a minute might seem like an hour to that individual. So we want persons to understand that there are a lot of factors that have to take into consideration with emergency vehicles, not just fire services, with emergency vehicles responding to a call. Traffic, for example. Now, the traffic don't always obey the law when it comes to the pulling over of their vehicles when you hear a siren or you see the flashing lights of the emergency vehicles. The law states that the driver of a vehicle is supposed to pull to the extreme left to allow the safe passing of these appliances. Roads that are considerably narrowed, we have certain streets that persons park on both sides of the road. That could be a hindrance in the fire appliance cars. You recognize the fire appliance is not the size of an ambulance, it is much larger. So then that might take up time in terms of persons having to move a vehicle that might be obstructing the way for the fire truck to pass. Another misconception might be the roles, duties at the scene. Now, the fire officers, when they arrive on scene, they have various roles and responsibilities to disseminate on a scene. For an accident, let's draw an illustration of an accident. You have an accident and you have a lot of bystanders at that accident. The most common thing for bystanders to do is to bombard the scene with their presence. Now, the fire officers, if police presence is not there, they would try their best as possible to keep the crowd back. However, their main focus would be in terms of saving the individual's life, whether it means cutting out the individual out of the vehicle, etc., using the jaws of life. So the crowd control then might not be the priority. However, it would be good for the crowd to, just to stay back a bit and let the officers afford the officers and the opportunity to do what they do best in order to get that individual out of the wreck.
In your explanation, one thing came to mind is the dispatching of the unit, the team. What's the communication like between the dispatcher and the firefighters?
All right. So upon a dispatcher taking the information from the caller, most often than not, once we get key information from the caller, like let's say there is a house fire at given a random area, let's say Shadwell, then we normally have two persons by the desk. One person would pull down the bell while that other individual is taking additional information. So upon getting the relevant information now, sorry, 1 minute.
No problem. And for those who just tuned in, we have Timothy Martin in the studio with us this morning for Fire Talk. We're looking at what you should expect when you're making a call to the emergencies department, especially in this case, the Fire and Rescue Services here in St. Kitts. Go ahead, continue.
Right. So while one officer pulls down the bell to alert the other officers that there is an emergency, those other officers now are preparing, grabbing their gears, etc. So when the supervisor comes in now, the dispatcher is able to feed that supervisor with the relevant information that, hey, there is a house fire in Shadwell, someone might be in the structure, no one is in the structure, so they have a pretty good idea as to what they're going out there facing. So that's basically the transition between the dispatcher and the supervisor. If any other additional information comes in while the vehicle is en route, we have handsets, even the use of the telephone. That information would be relayed to the supervisor.
Okay. What should individuals do if they're in a situation where they can't make a call and they are dealing with an emergency?
If they can't make a call, care to expound on that just a bit?
Let's say, for example, they don't have a phone and they're in a situation where their house is on fire. What should they do?
Well, first of all, if your house is on fire, we don't expect you to be making a call from within the structure unless it's a case that you can get out. Your first priority should be getting out of the structure. If you absolutely don't have a phone, then you seek the closest neighbor. Seek the closest neighbor. If a walker-by is walking past, you stop him, ask him for a call so that you can get to the emergency services. That would be my best option.
And don't try to,
The thing about fires within the homes, and so most persons, they try to extinguish the fire on their own first.
Yeah. And then make the call afterwards.
It's only when the fire gets too big and out of control, that's when they now engage the fire services. So what we're asking persons to do is actually to call the fire services first, no matter how small the fire may be at the time. Call the fire services, at least we are on our way to assist you. If you can assist yourself thereafter, and once it is safe for you to do so, get the fire down, then by all means, but call the fire services first. So, like you say, again, if you don't have a phone, turn to your closest neighbor, shout for assistance, shout for help, stop a passerby. If it's a person passing in a car, flag down that car, ask for a call so that we can get the call and be on our way to assist you.
Versus trying to do it on your own. Timothy, what advice you have for individuals as it relates to making calls, reporting calls? I know you highlighted the fact that they should give their name, they should give the address of the location for the incident, but what else should they take into consideration when they're calling?
Calmness plays a big part, GQ. The reason why I say calmness plays a big part, most persons, when they are faced with an emergency of some sort, they become frantic or hysteric. All right? When a person is frantic and hysteric, their words don't often come out as they should. So it makes it more difficult for the dispatcher to understand what the persons are saying, the caller is saying. So we're asking the callers if you can take a deep breath or two and then compose yourself and then provide the necessary information to the dispatcher. That would help a lot. The screaming on the phone, etc., it doesn't really help too much because now the dispatcher has to sift through the noise, dealing with maybe if there is noise in the background with you yelling, screaming, etc. Then it makes it a bit more challenging for us as a unit.
All right, and I'm sure you've had cases where collecting that information was more than a minute, more than 2 minutes.
Right.
So that conversation might have lasted 5-10 minutes trying to get
trying to get pertinent information
Right.
From the caller.
And
Had they been a bit more calmer and be able to put over the information a bit more smoothly, then
Right.
yeah.
So, in hindsight, they might hang up the phone and think, okay, you stopped too long to get there, but really and truly, they stopped too long to get the
To
information.
get the information as well.
To share the
To share the information with
as well.
us.
Right.
The relevant and pertinent information.
Right, because you can't respond until you get that information
That
from
clear, right,
from
and
the-
knowing
right.
where to go exactly.
Uh-huh.
One of the things I wanted to highlight to GQ, I'm sorry to step back a bit, in relation to the address, is not every area within a village is named, right? So we have that challenge as well. You might just give, say Lower Keyan, but we are in Lower Keyan. You might have some areas that maybe dirt road, they might not be named. So if persons can produce some sort of landmark, say by the ATM machine, you come across, that road just below the school, etc. Just giving a brief, touching on some brief landmarks, so at least we could start to pinpoint where we need to
Right.
divert from the main road.
So it's not, hey, there's a firewood in Lower Keyan, I'll come now and hang,
Right.
up the phone.
Right.
It's not. That's not you're looking
It's
for.
not what we're looking for. We're looking for specific information where a street also cannot be named. We're looking for particular landmarks.
All right. Timothy, well, I want to thank you for sharing that with us this morning. Anything else you want to add before we wrap up?
Just for persons to, this is the independent season coming on upon us, and some persons they utilize that season to be festive as well. So we want persons to, whatever festivities you're engaging in, to do it responsibly. You're cooking. Some persons like to cook up a storm on those holidays. Make sure you do that responsibly, making sure that you monitor the stove. And if you are drinking, make sure you do that responsibly as well.
Timothy, thanks once again, and I'll catch you next week, same time?
Same time, same place.
All right, man. Have a great day.
Same to you, GQ.
Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. We'll be back at the top of the hour. I will be chit-chatting with the man from Courts, Tariq. They got the independence promotion going on as well. So stick around and find out all about that. It's The Morning Show.
Do you know that the cable has a real live customer service representative available every day until 9 p.m.? Just call 465-2588. Calling out of normal office hours? Leave a voicemail and a friendly, reliable cable rep will call you back. Do you have an urgent request? Or maybe you just want to ask a service question? Call 465-2588 and a service representative will be available to assist you. Or, if you prefer, send an email to customerservice@thecable.biz and someone will get back to you. So remember, the cable is here for you every day until 9 p.m. Just call 465-2588 or send an email. The Cable, always giving you more where it matters.